Gonna be hard to top us.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. New theme song.
Yeah,
how
how
we
about
feeling
that?
about
You like
yeah.
that?
I thought, I was dude. When you said that to me, I was so hyped. I was like, yo, because it's got everybody's names in it, and it sounds like some like classic wrestling something. You know what I mean?
Bro, I love it.
Yeah.
Ed Ruger, I want to shout out to my man Ed Ruger. Thank you very much for the podcast and the beautiful logo that we do have here for the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. So shout out to you. If anybody needs any logos or any kind of music work or anything like that done, please hit him up. He's on Facebook at Ed E. Ruger. You can check him out.
Yeah, man. So first thing, I got a little bone to pick with you. You actually got to go back to a show last night, and
Yeah.
I didn't. You know, it's been a few months since I've had to do anything, but you got to
Yeah.
dip a toe back in last night. How was your experience there?
Man, we had Wrestling with Purpose in Laurinburg, North Carolina at the Scotland County High School last night. And it was such a great relief to finally get back into a wrestling ring, seeing how I haven't had a show. We got something going
We
on
have
around here today,
a
folks.
battle
Like,
appears to have broken out.
but back to what I was saying, I haven't been in a show since December.
Yeah.
So I've had almost a 2-month layoff from actually being in a ring. So getting back with Wrestling with Purpose last night was absolutely fantastic. We had a great battle royal to start out that match there, and come out the victor was Sean Cruz. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been hot on the scene here lately, coming back after his little layoff that he had recently. But he come back and won that, and that was absolutely fantastic. We also had a title for title match. It
Oh,
was,
wow.
World Class Elite Wrestling New Class Champion Kid Kush took on the Wrestling with Purpose Fighting Spirit Champion Johannes McAllis, and we do have a new champion, and Kid Kush come out on
wow.
top
That's
and-
big, yeah.
and took the WWE Fighting Spirit Championship from Johannes there.
Well, yeah, I absolutely envy you, friend. I'm excited. I'm itching to get back to a show. And speaking of, we have some upcoming shows I think you
Yes.
wanted to highlight. So if you wanted to get into that and talk about those.
Absolutely. We got some friends here that sent in some flyers that we're going to talk about here. First, we have Alternative Combat Wrestling is coming to you February the 7th, ladies and gentlemen, in Southern Pines, North Carolina. They're going to be at the Rec Room there, and bell time is going to be at 8 p.m. Want to make sure that you check them out there. Also, following night on February the 8th, Alternative Combat Wrestling also is still in Southern Pines, North Carolina, and this time they're going to be at the National Guard Armory, and bell time is going to be at 7:30, so you want to make sure you check them out there as well. Also, in Eden, North Carolina, our friends at Insurgent Pro Wrestling comes to you also on February the 8th. They're going to be at the Wright Memorial Event Center. Doors open at 6, and bell time is 7 p.m., so make sure you check out our friends there in Eden, North Carolina. But last but not least, we're going to talk about Dominant Championship Wrestling. They're going to be there in we're going to be Dominant Championship Wrestling. It's going to present Meltdown to you at the Richard B. Harrison Gym February the 8th there in Selma, North Carolina. And just to let you know, the Carolina Wrestling Podcast crew, we are going to be there in location there in Selma, North Carolina. So we're going to make sure that we check you out there. But last but not least, February 22nd.
Yes, and I am very excited for this one because I'm excited to actually get back into it, get to the flow of doing some ringside camera work for
Yeah,
Next
man.
Level Pro. That'll be Saturday, February 22nd after, string of bad luck with us trying to run shows.
That's right.
The
there.
weather just was coming at us, man. It was getting pretty upsetting.
After they canceled 2 of our shows in January, the first one because of some fake snow that we didn't even get, and then the second time was because some stupid ice that we had after a snow that we shouldn't even have got, but
Yeah.
one of the biggest snowstorms that we've had here in a long time. But yeah, we're going to be there in your neck of the woods there, Chance, in Dunn, North
Yeah,
Carolina.
I'm excited to be out and done. Shorter commute for me. So that'll be nice.
Yeah,
but other than that, I'm excited to see your friends, family, all that good stuff. But yeah, we also have a guest in studio today.
Yes, we're going to bring in Krazyhorse. Brian
welcome
Sanders.
in.
He's
Well,
been
welcome
here in the wrestling business for a long time here in North Carolina, and welcome, Brian, to the show, sir.
Welcome. It's nice to be here. Mr. Editor, can you fade out my nipples real quick?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You can take that coat off.
We can make that
cold.
happen.
I know
That
we're trying
man,
to keep it G-rated up in here.
Well, welcome in.
Thanks.
yeah.
Glad to be here.
So Brian, you've been here in the wrestling business here in North Carolina for many years now. Let's go back to the very beginning. So let's talk about when we were kids. You know, I watched wrestling when I was little, growing up in the 80s. I started out with the NWA, watching the Four Horsemen and Sting and Lex Luger and those guys like that. Who are some of the guys that you watched that you liked when you were growing up and made some kind of inspiration to you?
Man, you talking about going back in time? Almost
Yeah,
20
man.
years, man.
Yeah.
But see, when I was growing up, you know, we only caught 3 channels, and one of them was 21, so we got to catch SmackDown. So that right there, when we cut on SmackDown that first time, the people I seen was the Hardy Boys with Gangrel doing the whole vampire gimmick thing. From then, I was hooked. I knew I was hooked. I didn't know how bad I was hooked, but I was hooked from then on out. And other ones like The Rock. I mean, the best one at promos. You know, I was hooked in them that one. He pretty much made SmackDown.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that's what I grew up watching was The Rock, SmackDown, and whoever else would come over to SmackDown. But we're gonna catch Raw. I didn't start watching Raw till about like 5 years later when I was going to my cousin's house and watching Raw.
So you really caught SmackDown back when it was like on, like local, like on the UPN, like when it was on UPN back then when it first started, right? Yeah.
UPN with the old whole little rabbit ears.
Oh yeah. That was a long time ago.
I don't want to like say my age, but yeah, that was back in time.
Oh yeah. So you watched wrestling when you were growing up and stuff like that. Did you start finally finding schools or becoming interested in wrestling, or how did you start getting into it where you're interested in wanting to become a wrestler?
Well, from day one, once I first seen it, I was hooked. I want to do this. I don't know how, but I want to do it. So we're gonna fast forward about when I'm a teenager, about 13, I think. Now I'm able to watch Raw. I'm going to my cousin's house, and they got cable. So we're watching Raw. You know, it's freaking awesome. We're watching Monday Night Wars. You know, WCW versus Raw. Awesome. I got introduced to Stone Cold. But then I was talking to my cousin. He was like, you know, they go to school for this. I'm like, huh? Like, yeah, they go to school for this. I'm like, you mean I can really learn how to do this? I can do this. It's something I can really do. So right then I'm like trying to research how. I even went to my local newspaper trying to see if I could find a wrestling school. But no, we didn't have one in Lumberton.
Yeah.
So we didn't have Google, so I can't find nowhere to train at. I'm like, so okay, put out the window. So then I say about a year later after that, my mom died. And after that, you talking about growing up. Something like that happens, you have to grow up. Cause now you are the backup. You know, you are your safe net. So I had to throw away all them childhood dreams, wanting to be a wrestler, all this stuff. All that had to go out the window. You know, I got to prepare for me, myself. And so we fast forward a little bit further. I'm like in my 19. And I'm working a good job. We got Google now. I'm searching, trying to find a wrestling school. Find one, Rey Mysterio school. Awesome, here we go. They want $4,000 up front.
Oh, wow.
And another couple thousand afterwards, and you got to move up there and stay there for about 6 weeks.
Rey Mysterio, so that's in California?
I think it was in California.
San Diego, somewhere around there?
Yeah, that was where it was at. And I'm like, I'm on the other side of the freaking world in North Carolina. You know, I'm like, this can't happen. So, gave up on that. But just so happened, was walking in Walmart, and Mr. Ivan Koloff himself was sitting there doing a autograph session.
Oh.
I wasn't a fan of Ivan Koloff because I didn't get to watch him when I started wrestling. He had stopped wrestling on TV and all that stuff. So, but I knew he was a wrestler. I knew he was a professional wrestler. So I go up to him. We're talking and all that, and I'm like, this is a freaking wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So I'm marking out, as they call it in the business. I'm straight up marking out. Get his autograph. Start talking to him about how I always wanted to do this. I love how did you get started and all that, you know. And I'm telling him about how I can't get started because there's no schools around here. He's like, there's a school right down the road in your hometown. It's run by a guy named, one of the owners is Tony James. I'm like, really? So I'm like, whew. All emotions is coming back. I'm like, I can try this again. My childhood dream. I can go and try to be a wrestler. So I go to the flea market. I see the flyer. I'm like, still like, kind of like this is going to happen and kind of not.
Yeah.
So still in between. So I'm like, I see the flyer. Meet the owner of the building. Good friend of mine. Meet the owner of the building. And he helps me get in contact with him. I go to a school, I see the wrestling ring. And right there, it hits. I'm in school training to be a professional wrestler. Like, my dream is here. It's coming true. So right then, I know the guys, when they first see me, thought I was a little old punk because I'm sitting there, like, emotion, watering my eyes, like, about to do this. About to do my dream. So go in there, train, fell in love with it.
All right, so let me cut you off real quick. Let me ask you a question. So you're talking about just getting into the business and starting your training.
Yep.
Your first bump. the first time you take a bump into the ring. You know, that's what everybody always likes to talk about and always want to know because nobody ever talks about it and asks anybody. Your first bump. Let's like how did it feel? What was it a shock to your body? Like,
what's your story with this one? Okay. So I get in contact with them. They're like, okay. They give me the time, the price. Say bring elbow pads and be ready to bump. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm down. We're ready. I'm like, what the frick is a bump? What is that? I'm sitting there trying to Google this. What is a bump? I'm asking everybody I know. Nobody knows what that is. I sound stupid because I'm asking, what is a bump? So, first day of training, I don't get introduced to a bump yet. You know, we got to do the whole thing. So the anticipation is building. It's there. Next training session, I get the bump for the first time.
oh, so they didn't even let you.
No,
didn't even let
it was all watching them.
You probably didn't even get.
Just being like, oh, God,
They-
I can't wait to get in
They
there.
probably barely even let you look at the ring on your
I
first
got
day,
to
huh?
touch it. I got to touch
Yeah.
the ring. I didn't get to get in it, but I got to touch it. So the next day, time to learn how to bump. I'm like, okay. Now I always thought I was a pretty strong fella. I could take some pain. My pain tolerance is pretty high. Go take that first bump. I got the ropes. Okay, this is cool. Take that bump. Bam. Felt like it was the worstest mistake in my freaking life. I'm like, right then, I'm sure I want to do this. Oh my God. It is not a trampoline upon this ring. I've been lied to. And so that first bump, your body is shocked so violently because you're trained not to fall your whole life. So now you are falling, and at this point in time, you don't know to
Tuck your head.
and you whiplash that mat so hard. The first thing you grab is the back of your head. You're almost wanting to cry, and that first bump, man, everything hurts. Everything. Elbows, like you don't even hit the mat right here, but this hurts. You know, your knee hurts. You landing on your back, but your knee hurts. It's like it's weird, but it's very painful. That'll let you know if you really want to do this or not. Like, thoughts went through my head. Is this what I really want to do?
Yeah, as a fan, it's like I've never actually taken a bump or anything. So it's like you look at that and it's like, man, like you always wonder how much it's actually gonna like hurt or anything. And but like everybody's story about it is like just complete shock when it happens initially. So it's
I think the actual shock of once you take your first bump, for the first few minutes, it's gonna feel weird and hurt. But the headaches afterwards, after your first bump, the headaches you get is out this world. You're taking goody powders, anything to get the headache down, and then you gotta take your next bump, headaches come right back. So you have to train your body to take these impacts, cause if not, you get headaches. And the headaches to me was the worst thing. I could take the pain, but that headache, that's what it gets you.
So getting into training, it's not just the instant thing that you're going to instantly be, okay, I can go out here and work a 10-minute match or a 15-minute match. You got to work into it because the ring's hard. It's steel. It's wood.
It's not your friend.
Yeah, it's not your friend. And there's not a lot of padding underneath that canvas either.
No.
You know, like I was at the Wrestling Purpose show last night, and they use, like, if you're an amateur wrestler in high school, they use the padding for a wrestling mat. Like, the wrestling mat that they use is their padding for a wrestling ring. So it's not soft.
No, it's not. I mean, that padding is just to keep you from breaking something.
Yeah.
That's all it's for. So when it makes me mad when people are like, "Oh, it's a spring upon there." Yeah, okay. Come on, let me show you how much of a spring it is. But no, I would suggest anybody who's a wrestling fan to take a bump, just so you can understand what we go through.
And
oh my God.
And I was even at the show last night, and somebody was like, "Well, how soft is the ring? Can I get in there?" And I was like, oh, "It's not soft." They're like, "Can I?" I was like, "No, you can't go in there and take a bump." I said, "Just go." I said, "Just go walk up to the ring and slap the mat."
Yeah.
I said, "That's all you gotta do." I
All you
said,
gotta do.
"You'll feel how solid that mat is."
Yes.
Like the metal underneath, yeah, it springs a little bit and moves so it can flex.
Yeah, that's it.
So you're not gonna break your back.
That's all it's for.
But yeah, it's not soft. It's
It's like being in a car crash.
Yes.
Like you see these guys like, even though I've been in it for almost 14 years. Y'all getting old. Almost 14 years now. And when I see guys do big spots high in the air, 10, 15 feet above the ring, I'm like, oh my God, I would never be able to do that. If I had a chance to go to WWE and they was like, okay, you gotta jump 15 feet, top of this whatever.
you got a ladder match.
Ring.
Here's your ladder match, baby.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be like, it's been fun working for y'all. You know, let me shake everybody's hand because I'm out. I'm scared of heights. I'm not jumping 15 feet.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a pool down there. I'm not doing it. So, much respect for them guys that do the high spots and the high jumps and the high landings. That is scary. It is.
So you talk about like breaking into the business, and you're like 19 when you are first like getting in and actually deciding, okay, I'm gonna like try this and train for real, or is that like when you're looking at the Rey Mysterio school and you're kind of realizing like that's not really an option?
That kind of happened in the same year. It's kind of like seen Koloff at the if I can tell you the exact dates, I met Koloff in June. Met Koloff in June. Told him about the school. I went and trained for a month, and I did my first Royal Rumble match on August the 10th.
So he actually gave you the information on where to go.
If it was not for Ivan Koloff, I'm not saying I would have never gotten into the biz.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for him, I would have not gotten into the biz at the time I did. And I really don't think he realizes how much of an impact he had on my wrestling career. He's had a big, which I've told him numerous times, but I don't think he really got that. I probably won't be wrestling right now if it wasn't for him.
It just means a lot more to you,
Yeah, it means a lot.
coming from a legend, somebody like that who's been everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, literally everywhere in the
I
business.
went back and studied some of his film stuff. Dude was famous in everywhere.
Yes.
It's just when I started wrestling, it was when he was going out when I started wrestling. When I started watching it. So I never really got to see him perform like that. But I went back and watched it. It was him and his brother. I can't remember his brother's name. Nikolai Koloff. Yeah. They were called the Koloffs. It was Ivan Koloff and Nikolai Koloff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going on into the wrestling career, you know, you start your training, then you finally starting to get into matches, you know, getting booked on shows and stuff like that. So how was that? How did that go?
Okay, well, you know, fast forward after about a good year. Oh, God. First, I got to tell y'all about my first gimmick. A lot of people don't know this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear this
I've
one.
only known you as you always been Crazy
That's all
Horse,
you
you know.
would
So
know.
yeah, so
My very first one, man. Okay. At work, I had a nickname. My nickname was Beast because I was always had a habit of not shaving my hair, so they call me Beast off of Wolverine, off X-Men stuff.
had the
Yeah.
nice
I'm like,
chops.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a great wrestling name. You know, I'm young and dumb. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna call myself the Beast. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. I got a nice big shirt, sleeves cut out with a big, nice Beast mouth on it, stuff. This is gonna be great. Not realizing I've got no muscles. Like, I'm just flab and bones, you know. Just a little.
How much
skinny
you weigh?
kid.
How
Right
much
now
you
I'm
weigh?
at 260 right now.
No. Back then,
Oh God, man, I was 225.
225,
210.
and be little 210-pound beast.
Yeah, I was a midget beast, a miniature beast. I was all flab and stuff, but I was small, man. Like I was so small, and I got called out on it too. And that's why I changed it. It was like Mia Switson. God, that woman, great worker. She was like, "Your name is the Beast, but you don't look like you can do 10 push-ups."
Oh
I
man.
hate you for saying that, but you're absolutely right. So I'm like, what gimmick am I gonna go with? So I'm Native American. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? And once I started, I freaking loved it. Fell in love with it. I had a couple different names: Thunderwolf, Thunderfoot.
Thunderfoot. Hold on. That's gimmick infringement. I think I got a friend over there in Charlotte who might not like you being one of the
This was
Thunderfoot.
years ago, probably before he even started wrestling or whatever. But, oh my God. Like I said, young and dumb, I was just throwing names out there.
Yeah.
I finally settled on Krazyhorse. And once I settled on that name, I could really focus on my craft. Because one of the things I see that plays a lot of wrestlers is they don't have their character, their gimmick, or who they are.
Right,
And
sure.
They're caught
Yes.
up in their mind with that, and you can see it in their matches. I was blessed by having an automatic gimmick. You know, I live my gimmick. I am Native American, so I didn't have to worry about focusing on that. So I was able to get really good and really focus on my craft, and that's what helped me be able to spread out and get bookings, because there's not really many Native American wrestlers in North Carolina, and I was a really good one. And that's how I got bookings. I met some really cool, awesome people. Do some name drops. One of them, Sean Cruz.
Yeah.
He might watch this podcast, but he had a big influence on the way I work out in the gym. You know, I thought you just went in there, hit the weights, blah, 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 work out your whole body in an hour. Woo, I'm hitting weights.
Yeah, sure.
No. He taught me the real science behind working out muscle groups, what you need to work out for wrestling, what you don't need to work out. So he had a big influence on helping me working out. And then when I left my home company and get out on my own, he connected me with Trey G. Trey G, awesome person. I think y'all gonna have him here on the guest here later.
Yeah, we got him coming up very soon.
Yeah, upcoming for sure. Yeah.
Great guy. I can't wait to watch that podcast. I can't wait to watch that one. Trey G, awesome guy. He gave me my first shot outside of my home company. And I wrestled there. Got one of my very hardest, biggest bumps come from a guy named D Mac.
Oh yeah.
He's been wrestling. Matter of fact,
I
my
love
first
D-Mac.
shot was from D Mac, and he split me open. I still got a scar on my chest.
Oh my.
He hit me so
Whoa.
hard that it split my chest open. It was bleeding.
Wow.
I'm telling you. All right, so I can't remember what move it was. Spine buster. But I jumped so high. I got so much height on that move. I was up there. I had hang time because I could sit there and wave at the fans. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Gimmick infringement.
And he did that move. My soul left my body. I was up there looking at myself, talking about stupid. Back down to my body. That's the way that felt, man. But that was the first match at Trey G's show. He gave me a shot. And from there, man, fast forward years later, here I am with y'all guys doing this awesome podcast.
So still being in the wrestling business here after how long you say? You said 12 years, 14 years, something like that. I believe you said 14 years.
14 years now.
Yeah. So what still gives you the passion to want to get out here and still get in the ring and roll around with your buddies, man? Like what
I'm glad
gives
you
you
brought
passion?
that up. I'm glad you brought that up because I actually didn't lose my passion. What it was, I had to make a career change. I was a construction worker. I switched from that career to being an electrician, and during that time change, it's really rough making a career change.
Sure.
So I had to let wrestling go for about a couple years, and in that downtime, I really got to see how much I love this sport, how much passion I have for it. Because when you want to wrestle and you can't, you almost push you in depression almost. Like, because you love the sport, and it makes you realize how much you love it and how much you miss it. Now, my favorite thing is when I'm out there and I as soon as I come through the curtain, and I hear all the fans hollering and cheering. That's it. I can have a crappy match. I can lose that match. I can lose the title, whatever. Doesn't matter. When I hit that curtain, and I hear them fans for the first time, when that pop, that's it. That does it for me. Or when I'm getting my butt kicked and I'm reaching out so I can feed off the fans, you know what I'm saying? Can I feed off that energy? And I see this little kid, and I can see the tears in his eyes, like, come on, man. Oh, God.
Yeah, you get them chop. You know, you get them.
Start my chop.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting my tail beat. I'm like, oh, my God. That's what does it. I don't even have to have the fans to do that. It's like they automatically know I need them, and they're there for me.
Yeah. So let's talk about when your music hits. You know, you back in the back and you're getting ready to go to your match, and finally you get that music hits and you probably get a little goosebumpy and get a little nervous at the same time. What is it when that music hits and you just go out there, and whether you're a face or a heel, either way, you either get the pop of the crowd and they start screaming, or you get them where they hate you and they start booing. What is that? Describe what that feeling is. What that feeling's like.
My jitters start as soon as I hit the building. My jitters, and I can't explain it, but they say if you ever lose that's a bad sign. But I have them. As soon as I hit the building, the jitters are there. Like I'm excited. I feel it in my stomach. I'm ready to go. And I'm all nervous and all that. I'm all edge, worried about my match. I'm worried about this. As soon as my music hits, everything goes away. It's like a certain peace and calm when that music hits. Because I'm like, here we go. All the preparation, all getting ready for this moment is here. All the stress is gone. It's just, when that music hits, I know right then it's me and the fans. It's me and the crowd. It's me inside that ring, and that's, at that point in time, that's all that matters. It don't matter what I got going on, what kind of issues. I've had numerous family die, and I was in a ring instead of wrestling. I was in a ring instead of a funeral.
Yeah.
But I knew they would want me there instead of there. I knew that we had that understanding. So when that music hits, it's like, I hate to say it, it sounds kind of selfish, but nothing else matters.
Oh, it doesn't.
I am Krazyhorse. I'm Krazyhorse soon on a show day. I'm Krazyhorse as soon as I wake up. I am in character the entire time.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. But when that music hits, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like nothing else matters. Nothing else is important besides that moment.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever. Because me, I don't know the same pop that you get being on the other side of the curtain and coming out to the crowd, but me being in the middle of the ring, being a ring announcer, it's one of the best things because I get to watch you guys as you guys are coming out. And then I get to see the reactions that y'all get when they come out, and I can see it's like joy. I mean, if it's bad or if it's good, you guys love it. You love at least getting some kind of response from the crowd. That's the biggest thing, is getting the response from the crowd, whether it's a cheer or a boo.
Nothing sucks. when you go out there, boo me, cheer me, but when you do nothing, oh God, I've had that happen before, and it almost threw me out of my character. I was like, okay, what do I do? I don't know. I'm going to twiddle my thumbs. But luckily, with years of training, I was able to power through it and got a reaction out of them. But it was like walking through glass to get that reaction out of them. But I was able to get it out of them, though. But, man, that... Whew.
Yeah, let me ask you, Chance, real quick. Being a cameraman on the outside of the ring, and you hearing that music and seeing these guys come out because you're filming them as they're coming out there.
Yeah, man.
What's your opinion?
For
on
me,
that?
I mean, the craziest part is like getting to make their entrances with them. And everyone's getting all hyped up and getting fired. I'm walking backwards, trying not to fall, but I'm also trying to make them look good. I mean, just getting to kind of have my hand in it at all and like kind of be a part of how their presentation is. I mean, there's nothing like it, man. It's kind of like I'm living through you guys in a way in those moments, and it's a ton of fun, man. But you talked earlier kind of spoke on this, so I was just kind of curious if you could kind of reflect more on like kind of like the metamorphosis that a pro wrestler goes through. Kind of you talked about how you had these different gimmicks initially and kind of how you were figuring yourself out, and then you kind of had a moment where now I know who I am and I can hone my craft. When do you feel like that was like? When do you feel like you hit that stride where you're like, okay, now I know who I am? And what do you feel like kind of led to helping you figure that out?
That is one of the most hardest things for a wrestler. Like I said, when you're first getting started, your first 5 years as a pro wrestler sucks. You don't know who your character is. You really haven't gotten yourself figured out yet. You're trying to figure out your movesets. And if you're not lucky like me to have a home company to be able to have work in front of the same crowd, if you don't have that, I can only imagine what it's like for guys who don't have a home company like that. So the development from a wrestler, first you got to learn the moves, and when you have your first match, you're caught up in your head worrying about the match because believe it or not, you're not worried so much as making yourself look bad. You worried more about, am I gonna put on a good performance? Are these fans gonna want to see me come back? And so you're going through that the whole time. And then once you start doing cool moves, you're like, oh, I got this down packed. Okay, let's go a little more. You know, okay, I got these moves down packed. Let's work on my crowd work a little bit. Oh, I've talked this crap to this crowd over here. They love it. Okay, let's keep going. It's baby steps.
So let me ask you, when you're talking about learning your move set and trying to figure out what you want to do there in the ring, do you guys watch other people on TV and find moves there that you want to try out? Do you just go in the ring and say, hey, let me try this and see how this works? How do y'all go through trying to find your move set and stuff like that?
It's a little bit of both. You do film study.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, I watched, God, I don't know how many wrestling matches of Tatanka, Jay Strongbow, Wahoo McDaniels, and Ric Flair, Stone Cold, because you're trying to develop your own craft, your own style. So you'll watch your favorite person, the person you grew up and you wanted to be. Turn out that's not what your wrestling style is.
Right.
I grew up loving Jeff Hardy, not fan signs, but the Hardy Boys was who I wanted to be. That was not my wrestling style. I come off the top rope a couple times, but I'm mainly a ground and pound type. You know, I do power moves and stuff like that. I might do some off the top rope stuff, but that's it. Nowhere near like the Hardy Boys. So you'll watch your favorite wrestling, and you'll pick up little things, but then you'll start watching other people. You start watching, for example, one of the movesets that I just started incorporating into mine. I was watching, it was a match right after a match I was wanting to watch. And it was a females match, a women's match. Nothing against women matches, I love them.
No, yeah, not at all.
These divas are not like the divas back in the day. These divas here will kick your butt.
Definitely, yeah.
Rhea Ripley, bad.
What?
Yeah.
She's bad, yes.
Hey, so
she's the best in the world. So, like, why would you not want to find something that she's doing and take a move
and
from
I
her?
can't stand people that are like, oh, it's a females match, I don't want to watch it. Not much. Like I'm getting ready to say, one of my movesets I got from watching a women's match. You know, it don't matter who or what's in the match. It's about what they're doing, their craft.
Right.
That's what you're learning from and studying. So
It's the
if you're
craft
doing your film
itself.
study, if anybody's watching that, I wouldn't say just stick to the people that you like to watch. You know, look at the people you don't even like. One of my movesets comes from a wrestler I don't even like, but I like the way they did that moveset, so I'm like, stolen, you know? I'm incorporating it into my little mixture of movesets. Don't be afraid to watch other people wrestling, even if you don't like that person. Dean Malenko, not a big fan of him. But did I learn a lot of moves off of him?
Man of
Yes,
1,000
I did.
holds. Like that,
Yes.
that man knows a lot.
Yes.
So why would you not want to incorporate
Yes.
some of the stuff that he was doing, you know?
Yes.
And that's stuff that we were watching when we were growing up, so we thought it was just cool as hell.
Right.
Trying to
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Growing up, not a real big fan of Kurt Angle. Love his wrestling. But I got some moves from him.
Yeah.
You gotta watch people you don't even like to watch. You need to watch them. You never know what you'll pick up.
Yeah. So, sorry to change the subject just a little bit, but as we've been
podcast, what do I want to talk about?
well, we've been watching you here this whole time, and you got something right there to your side, right there, and that's that beautiful headdress there. You wanna talk about that just a little bit there?
This is actually my third headdress. Because, okay, for one, the headdress is like, best way I can explain it is, you have the Army and the way they treat their American flag.
Sure.
But to Native Americans, this is our flag. If y'all watching my matches when I was doing my heel run, when I would hand my headdress to somebody, I'd make sure they knew, hey, this is very important. If they grab it the wrong way, hey, be careful with that, you know. And it's very sacred to us because it represents a chief, you know, because when you wear that, you're the chief of a tribe. So when I wear it with a lot of respect. I treat it with a lot of respect. I don't even have it in my gym bag. When I walk to the shows, I'm carrying it. You know what I'm saying? I show a lot of respect for it. So with that being said, when one starts to fade or something like that, out of respect for it, I'll store it. Like I gave my last one before this one to my dad. He's got it hung up and all that stuff. So they never get thrown away. They get put up somewhere in safekeeping, or they get turned into like something you put on your wall or something.
Right.
There's a lot of. This one might not be made by anybody special, but the heritage behind the headdress itself
Sure.
is very, very important.
Sure.
I've had companies be like, "Hey, it's a great spot. We'll have the heel, tear up a headdress." And I'm looking at them
No,
like,
absolutely
No.
not.
you can go buy a cheap headdress from the Dollar Tree or a costume shop, whatever, and you tear it up yourself. But you're not going to have me hold that headdress and then turn around and give it back to you.
Right, that's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful to my people.
Sure.
My tribe. I wouldn't be able to go back to Pembroke or anything like that. For me to take a headdress and to wear it to a ring, and then for me not to try to kill you while you're ripping it up, I wouldn't be able to step foot back in my hometown.
Oh, absolutely
It's
not.
It's just that.
Absolutely not.
When we had a show in Lumberton, and we had Tatanka there, he was fighting Steve Carino. We had natives in the crowd, knives, just ready. And if they would have jumped Tatanka, then all them Indians would have stormed that ring. That's how we are about our culture. So it's a lot of respect for that.
What does it mean to you to be able to kind of incorporate your culture into your craft? Like what is the heritage and all that? Like being able to kind of, I mean, because wrestling's obviously a creative outlet in its own, but to be able to add that extra layer of like kind of like personal relation, what does that mean to you?
I think that's why I put so much energy into my craft, because I'm not representing me. Even though I'm out there as crazy, even the name Krazyhorse, that's one of the Native Americans' founding fathers. I've got a lot of heat for using that name. But I'm like, what better way to show more respect to this man that does so much for my people than to use his name? When you see me in the wrestling ring, you know my name is Krazyhorse. You're gonna Google Krazyhorse, and first thing gonna pop up is the original Krazyhorse. That's what I want. You know, you are learning something at the same time.
Yeah.
With that comes, and then by me just being in the ring, you know, representing my people, the Lumbee tribe is. I think that's another reason why I have so much jitters, because I'm not just representing myself, I'm representing the whole tribe. And there was Tatanka, the Lumbee.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
And they're prideful. You know, y'all you love your tribe.
yes.
You know why? So why disrespect it? Bring it in and embrace
Exactly.
what you are. You know.
And I feel like, you know, Tatanka, he went middle level that Tatanka's on.
Yeah.
Here it is. I'm the next. I won't say next. I'm not the only Lumbee wrestler out there, but I am a Lumbee
Another
wrestler.
generation. Another generation of Lumbee, a Native
wrestlers.
American
So
wrestler.
I feel like I have extra weight on my shoulders that I'm probably putting on there myself. But that's pretty much. I represent my whole tribe, my whole community. So that's
Yeah.
a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, and I mean, being able to kind of do that, it kind of helps also like find yourself. When you were talking about earlier, like finding your character and everything. Yeah, I mean,
I was born. I woke up like this.
so yeah,
Thanks to your mom and your daddy. You know, they kind of helped you out your gimmick a little bit there. So.
It's kind of crazy because my daddy was a Tuscarora and my mom was a Lumbee, and Tuscaroras and Lumbees are tribes that don't like each other, like the West Side stuff.
oh wow,
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It sounds like a Romeo and Juliet in a way. Yeah.
My parents were smart enough, and they was like, "We're not doing that. We just gonna move over here by ourselves and
Yeah.
raise your little dumb self." Yeah.
So we were talking about like kind of like the value of finding yourself in that situation. Once you decided, okay, this is what I'm going to be, and this is kind of like the type of wrestling style I'm going to go for. What does it look like as far as like actually building the moveset and deciding like, you know, I'm going to do like this? Because like you were talking earlier, like you like Jeff Hardy, but then we also talked about how, you know, not big into heights as well. So those two don't exactly line up. How do you kind of figure out like your in ring, like what you want?
That was actually very hard because, believe it or not, I can throw a really good punch. But there's certain things that are embedded into the Native American wrestling culture, like kind of like lucha libres. They have the mask. You take the mask off of lucha libres, you can no longer wrestle anymore.
Right. Yeah.
With Native Americans, it's the chop thing. Like, I've got shoulder issues from throwing so many right-handed chops because I don't know who started. I think it was Wahoo when he wrestled Ric Flair, and they did the whole Ric Flair Wahoo, the chop thing.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's as far as back as I can remember the first chop starting in wrestling was with Wahoo and Ric Flair. And
Yeah.
so now, if you're Native American, you got to chop them at least 3 or 4 times. And if you throw a punch at the Native American, it's like, why? Why are you throwing a punch for? You know, it's like you don't see a kung fu master trying to punch somebody.
Right. Yeah.
And that was one of my hardest things, is building my moveset around that. When I went back and watched Wahoo, back in them days, they didn't do the high fly, and that was old school wrestling. That was just holds and maybe a suplex here or there. You know, back in the day, if you threw somebody over the top rope,
It was
you got
disqualification. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So Jay Strongbow was the same way. Tatanka, his moveset is what I really got all my movesets from. He was the only one that was relevant, that was doing the stuff that was relevant at the time. And that was really hard because Tatanka's a big dude. You know, he can put people on his shoulders and do all that fast stuff. I can't. So the rest of my moveset was kind of hard. I mean, I got the tomahawk off the top rope that come from him. Randy Orton's power slam.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite move, do in the ring. I love it, man.
The snap power slam.
Snap power slam.
Yeah.
I freaking love it. Man, they come off that rope, bam,
Bam.
they're on the ground. I can look up at the fans. That's my moment. If I'm getting beat down or if it's my shine or whatever. After that snap power slam, that's my moment with the fans. Because like I look and I can see all their eyes looking at me. And we're connected at that moment. They're like, oh yeah, he's got it. He's about to kick his, or I'll get my ass kicked. But yeah, that's.
But then they start getting behind you, and that's when you hear it real
chop,
slow,
chop,
boom,
chop,
clap,
oh
chop,
my
chop, and
God.
then they start getting loud, and it just brings you back.
It
And,
does.
you know,
It does. Like, I remember one time I got knocked loopy. I went to pin a guy, and it kicked out, and his knee. I don't know how his knee caught me right here like a left hook. I'm dazed, straight up like in a boxing fight. I'm on the mat. I'm pinning him, and when he does it, I fall back on my back, looking up. He grabs me. I'm still out of there, and all I start hearing is the fans chop, chop, chop. Boom, just like that. I'm back. I know what I'm doing. I catch him in reversal for another pin. I do a different pin this time and end up pinning him and winning. When them fans get behind you and start cheering like that, the adrenaline, it's like taking an adrenaline shot of epinephrine or whatever. It's just you just get that burst of energy and it's a wrap. Either you're going to win the match or the guy going to catch you with a left hook somewhere and knock you out. You got that energy and it's up to you to do what you're going to do with it for that brief second.
Oh yeah. So one more thing before we go. I know on the side when you're not doing wrestling and we're not at our regular jobs here, I know you do
our
it.
normal jobs.
Yeah, at our work job, where we make our real money at.
Fun jobs.
Yeah,
So,
lame red.
I know you do a little bit of streaming, gaming streaming there. So talk about that just for a second. Let everybody know where they can catch you at there, so they can find you there.
Yeah, man, I love streaming. My streaming channel is Warhorse Brian. I stream on there. I try to stream every day. I got cool clips on there. I'm a Fortnite streamer, Call of Duty streamer.
Where do you stream at? What?
I'm on. Yeah, that's the most important, ain't it?
Yeah. Tell
where you
them
find
where
me
can
at?
you find you at? Yeah.
I'm on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, a new one called Rumble. Rumble's fire. I like Rumble. So there's 5 places you can see me at. And it's all up under the same name, Warhorse Brian. That's where you can find me.
So what you was telling me you do play Fortnite? What other games you be streaming on there?
Oh man, Fortnite's my main one. I'm so good at Fortnite. I've been doing some, like one clip I got there, I shot waved in and then I slid around the guy behind the rock. They didn't even know I was there. I laid both the teammates out. Man, I'm good at Fortnite. But
Do you play build or no build?
no build. I
Yeah.
like build, but when I'm in the mood for it, because I hate
Yeah.
build because I crap on everybody in build. Except for the last player, because he builds this big old man.
Yeah, a duplex or something out of nowhere.
My bull is trying to shoot his whole house down, and he ends up building around me, and I can't build battle.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Call of Duty, I love Call of Duty. I've been practicing on Warzone, but I love Call of Duty. I'm a great sniper. I'm a sniper on these games.
play Call of Duty 6?
Yes.
The new one?
She bought me that for my birthday present. I played that. I love it. Yeah, we'll link up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know you was on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love Call of Duty.
Yeah, I don't stream, I'm not that smart. I'm just learning on this podcast how to do all this good stuff here. So we're trying, but yeah, we'll definitely link up on that. That'd be fun, man.
I knew once I seen this podcast, I hollered at my agent. I was like, man, you gonna get me on that podcast? You fired.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But let your fans know if you got any kind of social media where they can find Krazyhorse Brian Sanders.
Krazyhorse Brian Sanders on Facebook. I got Instagram for the same name. You can find me from the same names on everywhere. I got TikTok, same name. We got a show coming up on February 22nd.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had any other bookings. Where can they find you? What other shows you're going to be at here?
Next Level Pro Wrestling. That's where you can find me at. I don't plan on going nowhere else because I'm getting old. And Next Level's my home. So you'll find me Next Level. We'll be at Dunn on February 22nd. Come check us out and hang out and be my first match back.
Yeah.
After being on the bench for 6 months for a sprained ankle. So I'm off the injury list now.
It's about time because you've been gone a while.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
The hometown show when we were back in Lumberton was the last show that you were here, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that was the last one. I actually injured my arm on that one. So I healed up from that. Then injured my ankle. Healed up from that. So I'm back now.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you back, brother. Just going to look forward to seeing you there in the locker room here in, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now?
2, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited for my first match ringside with you back in the ring.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's good, man. 'Cause, hey, I like seeing y'all there, especially you running with the camera, trying to trip people.
Yeah, it's chaos.
You, Trey, you just enjoy it, man. You
I love
really enjoy.
I have literally, I'm not even going to lie, I have the best job in pro wrestling.
No, yeah.
To be able to get in the ring and work with the people that I get to work
You're
with.
in front of
and
the crowd the whole time.
The whole time, and I get to make you guys sound like $1 million.
You do, man.
And that's my job, and I just love it. I don't want to trade it anything for the world.
I tell you right now, you are the best ring announcer I've ever
Thank you.
had to call me to the ring.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, you're freaking awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Brian, thank you very much for being here, man. We had a great time you being here with us. We appreciate it. Hopefully we get to have you back here in the future after we get you a couple wins under your belt being here for a year. Stay without getting injured, man. We'll get you back in here.
As you get old, man, things don't move like they used to.
Yeah, but thank you, Brian, for being here. Chance.
Thanks for having me. As always, I'm excited. February 22nd, that next level show where we'll be out. And yeah, I'm excited to get another episode of podcast. What we got coming up next? We got Trey G.
Yeah, we got Trey G coming up. We got some other people coming up here very, very soon.
Stuff in the works, Yeah. And,
But make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you check us out on all of our social media at Carolina Wrestling Podcast. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We have it all. We're on X as well, so make sure you check us out there. We're posting all the time, and we're also posting and showing you flyers of other pro wrestling companies that we have out here in North Carolina, because we're here making sure that we promote everybody, because wrestling is a big family thing, and we love each and every one of the fans that come out here. Doesn't matter if you're our show or another company show. Make sure you just come out and see us and support us, because what we're doing now, we're the ones that's going to be in the ring that you're going to see on TV in the next 10 to 15 years. We're the ones that's wrestling now.
Yeah.
So make sure you come see us, ladies and gentlemen. Check us out, Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on our next show.
Tune in when they lock up. Turn the lights on. Time to watch us. With these topics, gon' be hard to top us. Headed to the top, can't stop us. It's the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. It's that guy, Trey Morgan and Freddie Attack. You can't ignore them. And Chance Jenkins, no chance for boredom. Get the table, the mics, now bring the boards in. We talking next level, that mean the best ever. Pro wrestling It don't get no better. We talking 2-6 Wrestling Academy and the rest of the scene around here that's grown radically around the Carolinas. Ain't hard to find us. New episode drops, watch twice and rewind it. Go and share it with your friends. Just remind them, and every time you see us, it's perfect time. What you looking for? If it's wrestling, we got it. No cap. Autographs in Carolina. What you looking for? If it's wrestling, we got it. No cap. Autographs in Carolina. Tune in when they lock up. Turn the lights on. Time to watch us. With these topics, gon' be hard to top us. Headed to the top, can't stop us. It's the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina